Celebrating Super Bowl 52, coming to the Twin Cities. 1500 ESPN, in partnership with the Minnesota Super Bowl Host Committee, present 52 super stories leading up to the big game from our own Patrick Reusse.
As I've worked on becoming a Super Bowl historian here for the last several months, in anticipation of the Super Bowl being played in Minneapolis in February, I decided, I wonder how many defensive players have been the MVP. Turns out there were 9, 5 of them in the previous century. The first was Chuck Howley from Dallas in Super Bowl V. He had 2 interceptions and only MVP from a losing team. Still, those 2 interceptions because Baltimore, which had just moved over from the NFL to the AFC, defeated the Cowboys 16-13, a dreadfully dull game, and Howley was the MVP. 2 years later, Miami finished their perfect season with a very unimpressive 14-7 victory over Washington. And Jake Scott, once again, became the MVP by intercepting 2 passes for the Dolphins.
He fires the middle, intercepted, in the end zone. Jake Scott, 5, 10, 15 to the 20.
That seems to be the key if you want to be a defensive MVP, intercept 2 passes. Then, of course, we go all the way to Super Bowl 12. Harvey Martin and Randy White lead a complete rout for the Cowboys of Denver, 27-10. They almost killed poor Craig Morton, the Denver quarterback who used to play for the Cowboys. Harvey Martin and Randy White, only guys to ever split the MVP award. Then we go to another game that the defense almost killed the quarterback, the 1986 game. Bears and New England, 46-10. The Bears win that game. Richard Dent is the MVP. 1.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a blocked pass. Tony Eason started that game as the quarterback for New England, got buried about 4 times early and said, "No thank you."
Eason dragged down, fumbles. Richard Dent appeared to be the man.
Go to the 1996 game. Larry Brown intercepts 2 passes from the very mediocre Neil O'Donnell, and the Cowboys win that Super Bowl. Larry Brown then signed a 5-year contract, the Oakland Raiders, because of his fine Super Bowl performance. He played 12 games and they cut him. So those were the defensive players who were Super Bowl MVPs in the previous century. Chuck Howley, Jake Scott, Harvey Martin, and Randy White split it. Richard Dent and Larry Brown. And we'll look at the other 4 next week.
52 Super Stories continues next week with another great yarn from Patrick Reusse. And for more details on Super Bowl 52 coming to the Twin Cities in 2018, sign up for the Host Committee email at mnsuperbowl.com.